Traders, let's talk about last week. Last week might have not went how we might have expected it to go. But, you know, let's just jump right into it. This was one of the marks. I'm not sure if you remember what last week was like, but we projected this one to go down. So this one did work out in our favor. But what I do want to show to you is the Telegram. If we just look through, see what's happened very briefly over the week, what happened, and then let's just do a quick count of how we managed our trades in the actual chat here. Okay, so first one we have is euro pound, which we had on the decline. I mentioned that we should already remember what that pair looks like. Boom, for the ones who are a bit slow. This one did fall. And so we're at this area of support, and we just got to look to see we have a bullish candle there. Still a lot of bearish pressure. We did come back to reject this area. I would like to see price come back up to this area, just touch the wick there, and then look to see how price develops at this area to see how we can forward through. But besides that, let's go down to the next pair. Euro, all these pairs are just spewing out my mouth here, but we have the pound Australian, and if we go down, see how this has been treating us, we have nothing but bullish activity. And this one was a dub for us when we took these trades in this direction as well. I mean, we're going to go into the details and actually take a look, but here we have the here we have the pound Canadian, which, you know, consolidating at its area. And what do you think happened? Write down in the comments right now what you think happened to this pair. Maybe you traded it, maybe you didn't, maybe you were unaware. But we did have bullish activity right up, not exactly up to resistance. Looks like we're still making way up there. Yesterday, Friday, was a bearish candle, but still did maintain a lot of the bullish pressure. You know, as much as it went down, it still closed within 50%. I would say maybe even 65% of the whole candle towards the upside. So that is beneficial for the bulls. Apart from that, let's go down the next pair. You should have these things memorized, but the next one is the Swiss, the pound Swiss, and we're there at the support area, you know, looking to do our thing. We got a bullish rejection of that same area. And apart from that, if we go a little closer, we see that we have a nice, beautiful rejection. And look at the bullish candle. You have to realize that this is the daily time frame. So when we look to capitalize on the daily time frame, we can be on the lower time frame, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, capitalizing on a small portion of this large move. Let's see how large this actually is. So from the support, start of the week, to the end, we've moved 117 pips in 5 days. So you can be there to capture 50 pips. Make sure to risk less than you're trying to gain. So risk one, I would say a minimum of 3. And then you can start accumulating something from that. You know, you can be wrong 40% of the time and still make a profit with a risk 1 to gain 3 ratio. That's the type of thing I'm trying to teach and implement, and trying to just stick in your head. You just be realistic, make the numbers add out. In the free trading package, which you can get in the Discord, which is below, showing that to you now. But if you go in there, you can see the things that I incorporate into my plan. And 2 important things that give you a third important thing is what is your risk to reward ratio on average, your standard that you're keeping. And apart from that, what is the actual win rate of the plan that you are doing. So when you incorporate those 2 numbers, you get a profitability number. And is that a positive expectancy or a negative expectancy? So just pay attention to those 2 things. The best thing that you can tweak is not necessarily the strategy to think, oh, you know, I can just take more winners and cut out more losers. It's not necessarily the fact of taking more winners, but you can increase your risk to reward ratio. You can try to implement the higher timeframes to capitalize. Now, let's go down to the next pair, and we have the pound JPY, support, resistance, and we're breaking through the resistance. So, you know, we've seen how the pound pressure has been going. We managed to break a few candles above more. So from the breaking candle, we did rise approximately 240 pips bullish over the week. Did close rather down. Let's just look at the weekly really quickly. Still a bullish candle. I'll still be looking for this to go to the upside, and we may just, I would say we did come down to be in contact with every area that we needed to be in contact with, but regardless, we're going to look for major moves back to the upside, back to these highs. Let's go down to the next one. We have 3 more pairs. Pound New Zealand, bullish activity, and I know this one was filled with bulls. That's enough said. Next one, we go to Pound USD. Now this one's more iffy compared to the other ones. The other ones had a very strong bullish pressure. This one not so much. We were coming back down to our support area, just leaving a resistance. Let's take a look. Let's see what we said. Yeah, so conversely to the other pound pairs, the Pound USD is making lower lows and only in 2 days ago rejected the resistance, as I mentioned. If you check out the video that I released in the reviews, you'll see that I'm actually looking for the price to decrease and just go to the support with the candlestick to then react from there. But yeah, here we are on the Pound USD, and we did make our way down 5 days ago. We hit down to that support area, followed back up towards the resistance, not all the way, but it does look like we're forming another zone just around this area here. Let me make that blue. That's not blue, but yeah, we are forming a little zone around this area, so I will have that updated and sent over into the Discord by the start of next week, so by tomorrow. And from there you can see that we're actually having members joining the Discord now. The full course students, the full course member students of the mentorship, they are being added to the group, you know, to be able to see everything that we have listed, to have access to all of the course information that we have here. But apart from that, you see how the market is actually playing down. So we came back to this area, went back up. Now let's just have a quick count of the actual trades that we took over the week and how they resulted. So let's start where? Let's start. I did make a mark for where the start of the week is. What date is this? This is on the 9th. So I think we've gone a little too far. Stoppers, 1 for 3. Off to a new week. Small risk of 4.8, and we're risking that. So let's just see where we return. So failed to cover. So I took this position on the 127 rejection, and it's risk 1 for 49R. So that's a good setup for me to take. It would be really profitable to work out, and we did run up to the upside. You know, the stop loss was well placed. We ended up coming back down. This all happened very fast, and I was busy at the moment, so I did miss the actual cover and the management of this trade. It came down, hit my stop loss, and then I had reason to re-enter this position with a worse risk to reward, risk 1 for 17R, which was still amazing. So there we just have -1. I'm just going to mark it off here on the screen, -1. And there we have our risk 1 for 17. We do come up to profit, and look how that stop loss just works out there. We have it set in the beginning, 5-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, and we balance and we go up to profitability. Progress on the trade last posted, the entry was taken. We're up 150 pips currently. Now exiting trades before the end of the day, because I don't want to, with these positions specifically, I don't want to experience the spread increase and the volatility increase of going into the new day. So to avoid it, I just exit the market. So there we end with 155 pips at plus 52 pips on the second entry there, right around there. Okay. So there, I don't actually have the risk to reward ratio, but we can actually manage this and figure this out, which I'm not going to go through the whole detail, but basically we do have a loss initially of 5 pips, call it there. And then we have a gain of 107 207 pips on that position there. Then we do run into another position here. So we have a potential runner continuing on this to the upside, poof, into profit a little, coming back down to our entry here. And we actually have an exit of positive 5 pips. So that makes us up 112, if my math is right. 112. And so we're retaking the exact same setup because it does still look viable. While looking at our risk low to high, we're still coming down to that 127 area. So we look to get in there. We do come down for our loss, and that is a loss of about 20 pips if we look there. So that's 94 and that's 40, that's 74. So about 20 pips there. So let's just do our math. So up 207 from those two positions. So this is 205. And then with this here, it's 207. We also lost the first one, which was about 5 pips. So which brings us down to 207, right? So a little confusing, but to make it not confusing, the first one that we ended up losing balances out this one that closes for basically break even, right? So we're up this here, which would be the 107 pips, 207 pips there. Then, typos. But so yeah, that's the close. And there we do trigger in for another entry, measuring low to high, E2 level 161. And before that, we do get stopped out for 9 pip loss, which brings us down from 207 to actually 199, 199, 198. Our entry was taken for 5R, which is not shared, but a continuation of progress of the trade that we missed out on here. So it still did continue up to the upside, but the trade that we actually took was not covered. Like, it wasn't sent. You know, that's why we need to stay in tune with the weekly charts, because I do give the general direction here and you know what direction to be looking for your trades to go into. So apart from that, we're not going to count that in what's going on, but we're up 198. Risk 1 for 3 on the pound Australian and TP. So TP2 is set at 5R. I do mention this was in the late nights around 9 p.m. I do mention that we do have the unemployment change coming in. I'm not a big news watcher, but I did see this high volatility red envelope news coming out. And so the TP is actually removed and looking to exit the position at TP1, which would be risk 1 to gain 3, TP2, which would be risk 1 to gain 5, and then lastly TP3, which would be 100 pips, right? We do poof right up to the upside because we do have the news come out. And if we look at the time, we're actually 1 minute into the news, okay? So I have here placing stop loss at which was TP2. And there you can see we do trickle right down. Now, you see the thing is here about the TP, if you look at the numbers, we did come through and we did hit 100 pips target, right? But I accidentally made the mistake, and this is 107 pips, just about. So it didn't go all the way up to my TP, which it should have if I had set it at 100 pips, but didn't. Our stop loss was placed at this area here of stop loss 2, sorry, take profit 2, and that's where we come back in for our close of gain, and we make about, I think about 50 pips here and 50 pips there. 48. So from 198 to 48, we then add 238 plus 6 plus 8 to 46. We're going to go with 246. And that is plus 5.6R. So up 246 pips. Yeah, 246 pips. That math should have been way easier. I'm just realizing it now. But anyways, on the rejection of the support, we're going risk 1 for 5.85, just like this. That is our beautiful setup. And you can see we're actually risking 9 pips there. I love when the stop loss is small like that. It gives me large risk to reward ratios. And sometimes things like this happen where I lose the position. That is a loss of 9 pips from our 146, which minus 6, then minus 3, we have 237. 237, and then we currently go on a risk 1 for 3 with risking 18.5 pips. Look at that. Look at that kiss, okay? Lovely 32 pips. Collected 1.75 R as we're making our way up to the upside. We closed early because the end of the day was coming. Look at the time. We're at 4:45. The end of the day happens in 15 minutes after this. So we go out and we avoid that, okay? Apart from that, that is 32 pips. So we're going from 237 plus 32, which would bring us to 269, right? 269 pips for the week. And then we're going in short for a quick position, a few hours, 14.6 pip stop loss. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, we start making our way there. Having a lot of difficulty in the consolidation there. You can see that we do have our target, and want to alleviate yourself, you should go into a place of break even or even cover a little for the position, right? This is a great example. This is one of the reasons why I tell you the week didn't really go according to plan. Yes, it did go according to plan everywhere else, but you know, it doesn't always go according to T. Here we do have this situation where you can see if you do not manage to trade well after that period of consolidation, which I mentioned right here, price did dip down. And if we kept our TP area original, then we would have been able to exit the market, but we extended it. We covered ourselves, and the market would have reversed against anybody that did not manage their position well, right? So because I didn't mention, well, I did mention here to cover, but I just wanted to give the display that if you didn't, then or some profits were closed. Your trades will get ruined because of poor trade management if you're not managing them, okay? So apart from that, we do go through with another trade, and we're currently up to 69. There we go, risk 1 for 5.3. Stop loss hit. How much did we lose on this position here? We lost approximately from 10 to 91, which no, not 10 to 91. We have 10 and then it goes to 02, which that would be just about call it an 8 pip loss. We'll call it 9 pips in this case, and we go through and we lose that 1R position. Yes, that 1R position. So that brings us to a loss of 169 to 160. Okay, yeah, so, sorry, 269 to 260. So there we do have a total gain for the week of 260 pips after all of my additions. If I am wrong, I will add the different number here. But yeah, we're just about that much way closer to the release of the Discord, the club that we have for traders, where you can stay tuned to these trades that I'm actually taking. You can profit from them as well. The weekly direction, the chats. I will be doing more live streams that are private for this channel only, and some public ones. I want you guys to show your charts, show your work, and let's break them down. Let's take a look at what's actually happening and how can we optimize and capitalize on these situations. That being said, thank you for tuning in, traders. I hope you have a good week coming. The end of the month is almost here. This is the roughest month, this August is the roughest month for trading. Well, that's what a lot of traders would say. I'll catch you in the next videos. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Peace.